Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Now, if you're a Michael Hunter supporter, or maybe a Michael Hunter apologist, maybe this is not the video for you because I'm about to say some things that's no doubt about to get you offended because your boy has really given the middle finger to the heavyweight division. In a year which we've already had pretty so-so action, I mean, just think about what are the highlights? What are the highlights so far, almost 6 months into the heavyweight division in 2021? What, you've had Dillian Whyte knocking out the corpse of Alexander Povetkin, Joseph Parker underwhelming for the umpteenth time. You've had prospects under-delivering, then acting like they were Muhammad Ali. You've had journeymen taking dives. It really has been some pretty insipid stuff and hard to be a heavyweight boxing fan in 2021, I got to tell you. And now Michael Hunter, the middle finger to the fans, blows off an IBF final eliminator. And see here on screen, Kevin Iole reporting that the Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos card, June 19th in Miami, Michael Hunter will be on it. He will be facing Mike Wilson in a WBA heavyweight eliminator. So this is what Michael Hunter has done instead of taking an IBF final eliminator. He had a guaranteed shot at the title currently held by Anthony Joshua should he have beaten Filip Hrgovic in what would have been a great fight for the heavyweight division. It really would have been. It was one of those sort of 50-50 pick'em type fights. Hunter, a very good heavyweight, Hrgovic, a very good heavyweight, and both seemingly needing each other. Michael Hunter has not been up to much since the draw against Alexander Povetkin. And now, after having been dropped by Matchroom, he would have been guaranteed a heavyweight title shot had he won the fight against Hrgovic. And bearing in mind, yeah, sure, I know that the money wasn't great for that fight. The purse bid, Hunter's end, was about $363,000. He was getting 60%, Hrgovic less. So Hrgovic, I think, $240,000 or there or thereabouts. So no great shakes in the money stakes, but it was an opportunity for a title. So then he actually just blows that off in this news that Kevin Iole has dropped, and he's going to be fighting on a Triller card against a cruiserweight who's been inactive for 2 years and was just inserted into the WBA heavyweight rankings. After nothing of note, no wins, no nothing for 2 years, he hasn't been fighting at heavyweight recently, and he's in the WBA rankings. And you may have seen that video that I did on the WBA rankings about a week or so ago, and I thought that Mike Wilson probably was sort of inserted in there for Trevor Bryan. But no, this is actually much worse. This is worse because Trevor Bryan has basically got no name. He's been fighting nobody, so it would sort of make sense he would continue fighting nobodies, pretending like and parading around like a heavyweight champion facing absolute dross. But no, Michael Hunter is stepping in here, taking on this guy. It's an absolute joke. Michael Hunter's just given a middle finger to the fans and said, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to take part in a credible fight. I'm going to take part in this joke fight with Mike Wilson. And WBA heavyweight eliminator. I don't want to hear anyone saying, hey, this is, a meaningful, eliminator. It's going to lead to a shot at the WBA super champion. Because it's not. A WBA heavyweight eliminator is almost as worthless as the 4 WBA heavyweight champions plus the recess in champion Mahmoud Char at the time of this video. They're handing these things out like candy. So an eliminator, the question is for what? Because we know that the WBA is actually lining up, at least it seems to be, that Andy Ruiz Jr., who won an eliminator over Chris Arreola, is going to be lined up for the Super Champion. So whatever you want to say about this eliminator and try to say that it's got some prestige or something on the line here, that it's a meaningful fight, it is absolutely not. So I'm not going to hear that garbage. So apologists for this sort of, taking this fight instead of the eliminator against Filip Hrgovic. Come on. If you really believe that this is a credible fight and that Michael Hunter is doing the right thing here, you're delusional. You're dreaming. And Michael Hunter has just lost a lot of goodwill with fans. And why would he do this? Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Because, I mean, is he really going to get more than $360,000 for this fight with a Neville nobody who hasn't even been a heavyweight for the past couple of years, who hasn't been fighting, last fought as a cruiserweight? Then again, I mean, maybe he will be. I mean, they've spent $6 million on the main event, Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos, but you'd imagine actually they'd probably like to actually keep a little bit cheaper on the undercard because they ain't making money off this event. There's no 1 million pay-per-view buys in a Teofimo and George Kambosos fight. So, I mean, you would have to speculate he's going to make, less money. I mean, even if it's the same money, it's still highly embarrassing for Michael Hunter to have done this. What happened to that guy? #bounty. Send the contract. Demanding that they do the paperwork and get this fight made with Filip Hrgovic. Just turned out to be all noise. Michael Hunter ducked Filip Hrgovic. That is conclusive. There is no debate to be had here. He's ducked Filip Hrgovic for an easy touch. In the process, losing a lot of goodwill with fans. And you know what, Michael Hunter, you will not be able to recover from this to any real extent with fans because a lot of heavyweight fans, a lot of long memories here. The casual fans, well, they probably won't care, but they're the ones that are not following the sport to any real extent to actually know who you are. You've just burned off the goodwill of long-term boxing fans who do know who you are, who had been supporting you, and now think what you're doing is a joke, and that all of what you've been saying, all the call-outs, I mean, going forward, is anyone really going to give Michael Hunter any sort of sympathy if he says, I can't get a big fight? You had the opportunity. You had the opportunity with Filip Hrgovic to get to that IBF title shot, and you've just turned it down to go face Mike Wilson? Garbage. Absolute garbage. And understandably, not just myself, but a lot of other people on social media that I've seen are very unhappy with this. So for the Michael Hunter fans and apologists out there, you should be asking questions of Michael Hunter because garbage fight, garbage decision to back away from the eliminator, even if it was at shorter money. His reputation is tarnished to some extent through his own actions here. And I don't want to hear anything about, I can't get good fights because you had one, you let it slip away. Drop a comment loud and often, hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.